All right, well, Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana is set to table that 2026 national budget today. He's set to outline how financial resources will be allocated to fund the national government's priorities, as outlined by President Cyril Ramaphosa in the State of the Nation address. Investors closely watching for signs of credible debt stabilization, spending discipline and progress on structural reforms. Iman Repeti joining us now live from Cape Town. The expectations may be high, even from the political parties, though. Maybe them saying, well, we don't know how much we can really get, because in the past, we've always just heard words, but not much by way of action. What are the opposition saying? Good morning, Iman.
Well, maybe we need a spiritual moment, Arabile, and then it's not coincidental that St. Mary's Cathedral is behind me, the oldest Catholic cathedral in South Africa, almost 200 years old, and it's witnessed all the ebbs and flows of South Africa through colonialism, apartheid, and now democracy. But to your point, has it paid off for the ordinary person in the street? Let's talk to the EFF, a party that claims that approximation with the common person in South Africa, the person whose aspirations and dreams have been thwarted in this economy. And their national spokesperson, Thembi Msane, joins me now. Good morning. We're standing outside the Dome. You were not happy last year at the first budget. You're not happy at the second budget. Of course, controversially was the value-added tax, which you guys hated. But let's just start off with the fact that you think that it's time for Enoch Godongwana to go.
Well, the signs of economic growth have been very low, and it's a sign that Enoch Godongwana is not conscientized to the real issues of South Africans. If today's budget is anything to go by, we are only expecting nothing less than infrastructure investments, which will assist in rebuilding our factories, which will assist with creating employment. You might have seen that the current employment rate is above 40%, and it's mostly impacting the youth. And I hope you would have noticed by now, like many political parties are noticing, that the equitable share model is not working. We keep on allocating more to national and provincial, whereas you can see the issue of water in most of our countries, the issue of roads, the issue of infrastructure is because of this equitable share model that they are using. What we also expect to hear from him today is the fact that how are we going to be funding the elections, because as you may know, there's 120 million that was rejected by National Treasury, which is supposed to go to SABC, and which means that they seek to bar media from showing the lack of service delivery to our people.
Well, as you said, and you remind us, we're going into a local government election year, so it is a big one, and we'll see whether people vote with their feet or not. But from an expectation perspective, and most of the economists and the analysts we've been speaking to are saying we don't expect to see a revisiting of things like the increase in value-added tax.
It will be a very stupid move for the minister to go back and revisit the increase of VAT. As you can see, it caused so much instability last year. What we expect to see is that he must then make sure that the tax bracket, income tax bracket, is adjusted, because as South Africans are normal earning salary people, you don't see your tax because it remains in the same tax bracket. It's not in line with the inflation rate.
Everything about conversations we have had are about the fact that we need a radical change in the way that we approach our budget, in the way that we spend our budget as well. In line with this idea of innovation and radicalism, what does the EFF bring to the table in terms of defibrillating this economy, jump-starting it back into life where we see higher growth and higher employment?
If you remember last year, we gave him quite a few options, like taxing the rich even more, the tax of inheritance, especially from those who were beneficiaries from the apartheid times. So we keep on saying that put more money into infrastructure building, tax the rich even more. We have land that is lying fallow, which is not taxed. We don't even know where the people, the owners are. So go for the rich and go for those that are beneficiaries of the apartheid in order to benefit the poor, and also Nothing will increase our revenue more than making sure that people are employed so that the services that you provide to them, they can pay for them.
I mean, I want to go to this concept you talk about taxing the rich. I mean, who do you have in mind? You must remember there's an upper band in the middle class. We talked about tax bracket creep earlier on. People who might be getting salary increases, putting them in a higher tax bracket, but actually they can't afford their lives. They're being taxed out of existence, the middle class in South Africa. So who specifically are you talking about? Specifically, and again, adding to the idea of the resistance to the imposition of a wealth tax?
We're not talking about the middle class. The middle class are similar to those who are poor because they work for their money. We mean businesses. We mean tax of those who benefited in the past apartheid times. We mean there are wealthy individuals in South Africa apart from the middle class. Let's leave the middle class. The middle class are just barely affording like the poor are affording.
Thembi, thank you very much. So, as always, you know, the EFF is quite vocal, it's quite robust. And what are we expecting in terms of your own plans for how your party is going to approach this budget come 2 o'clock?
We will want to hear what the minister has to offer that is different. You heard from the SONA that there was nothing that was worth listening to, but let's give him a chance and listen to what he says, and then we'll move it from there.
Thembi, thank you for talking to us this morning.